What's up, guys? I think people don't really realize that starting something is the hardest part, and that after step one, you really have this sense of motivation. Since you starting is the hardest part, and on the other side of step one, there's a lot of things you didn't notice. So, I think starting stuff is important. You need to notice that starting is the hardest part, and once you've started something, that you'll be kind of in the clear in a way. You'll be in the clear once you started it. So that knowing this, that will motivate you to start things. You need to start things. You need to start new things. Even if you're scared to do this thing, you need to start it. It's important that you start it. Also, a lot of people don't realize that their goals, if planned out and spread out, aren't that really hard to achieve. Like, say you're 20 pounds overweight, say you're 30 pounds overweight. That's 30 pounds overweight is really not that hard. It's just eating a little less for a whole year. Just eating a little less, and eating a little less isn't that hard. You just eat with a slightly smaller plate, or you eat with a slightly smaller serving size. It's not that crazy. There's a lot of things that apply to that. Like, you do something for 10 minutes more a day if you want to get better at it. It's the incremental things. I mean, they say baby steps. It's these incremental things that add up to something big in the long run, as long as it snowballs, as long as you remain consistent in it. And consistency starts with step one. You need to start it. It starts with step one. That diet starts with day one of the diet. That routine starts with day one of the routine. That new habit starts with day one of the habit. You just need day one to happen. Day two is always going to be harder than day one. Day three is always going to be easy. Day two is always going to be easier than day one. Day three is always going to be easier than day two. Something always becomes easier the more you do it. A lot of people remain stuck their whole life because they don't try these new things because they're hard. And then they realize after they've done it that it wasn't that hard in the first place. They just need to start, and that the only hard part was starting. The only hard part was the mental block that they had in not starting. That was the only part that was hard for them. They had a mental block, and once they got past that, once they just started, they simply started, it was a lot easier for them because they realized that starting is hard, that starting is the hardest part, and what they thought was hard wasn't as hard as they thought. The actual doing of the thing wasn't as hard as they actually thought. And once you become good at starting things, you can start other things easier. Start one thing. Start that one thing that's one thing that's bothering you and making you feel bad about yourself for not doing. Just start it. And then once you start that, you'll be like, wow, that thing that I thought was super hard to do wasn't that hard to do. I just started it. You'll be able to start other things. So you need to start new things. You need to push through these mental boundaries that you have for yourself. All these boundaries that you have for yourself they're just illusions. You need to start that thing. You need to do that thing when you think about it. Everything is a mental block. If you can reach past a mental block, you can do it. Things just take time. You need to be patient. You need to trust the process. You need to do the steps. You need to do the hard part. You need to not take shortcuts. And you need to start. You need to start that thing you were going to do. It's easier than you think. It's easier than you think. You just need to start. On the other side of starting, it's easier than you think. Once you start, step one. And also start things, but also plan things out. Plan things out and realize in the grand scheme of things, plan things out over a year, and then as you go along, recalibrate and notice if you're behind or on track, and realize a lot of things you think take a long time. Over the course of a year, over the course of 6 months, it's barely any work during the day. It's just a small shift in your routine. It's a small shift in your attitude. You just need to make that shift, and sometimes it's hard because you're stuck in these old habits, you're stuck in these old routines. Just start the new thing. Watch how that changes your life. Just start the new thing. Just start the new thing, and that's the hardest part. Just figure out a way to be like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this then. And it will really make a difference if you become a doer. Just become a doer. Stop being the type of person to make excuses why you can't start this thing at this time. Start it now, and if it's not the best, keep going, and then eventually you'll get that rhythm. If it's not now, if there's not that much time all the time in the current position that you are, once your time frees up, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to find that groove in that thing, but you're going to have already started it, so you're not going to have to be finding your groove when time opens up. When time opens up, you're already going to be experienced in this thing, and then your progress is just going to shoot up because you're going to have time. You're going to have time to do that thing, and you're going to have started it. You're going to have started that channel that you were going to do later. But now I've gained momentum. My growth for my channel is going to be compounding, and I started that compounding earlier instead of later, and I'm going to get rewarded for that. So you need to start that thing. You need to start it. Think about that one thing that you need to do. That's a goal of yours. Start it today. Start it right now. Click off this video and start it right now. And keep doing that thing over the course of this week and see how it changes. See how it becomes easier than you thought it was. See how it becomes more attainable than you thought it was. And see how it becomes less of a hassle than you thought it was. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Start that thing.